Hello everyone and welcome to the long-awaited specialization guide for Stream Raiders. Now, without a further ado, let's begin with the specs. Archer. For Raiders, Deadeye and Pinning got buffed. Longshot Archer stayed the same. Deadeye Archer is so situational that it's not worth considering. If you epic your Archer, you always want to go Pinning. If you don't, you generally want to go Longshot. For Captains, the only thing that's changed is that Pinning Archer is now even better. So you're going to want one of each. Definitely go Pinning first and then Longshot. Bomber. So for Raiders and for Captains, always go Farsight. Always go Farsight Bomber. Flak and Volatile did get buffed. Their effects are just so niche that it doesn't compare to the raw survivability that Farsight gives you. It does not compare. And you want to keep your Bomber alive as long as possible. Never ever pick anything other than Farsight. Musketeer. Okay, as of the patch update, they only changed the Duelist spec, and that effect is that it does extra damage to other ranged units. Again, it is so niche that it's not worth using. Stick to Sniping for survivability, or go Volley Master if you want more potion farming. I personally recommend Sniping. Okay, Mage is the one that got some interesting changes. Longshot was a bad meme for mages. They buffed Longshot so that Raiders will get +2 range if you pick Longshot Mage, giving it tremendous survivability. Or you can stick to Ember and your fires last a little longer. Yeah, take Longshot if you do not care about PvP. Otherwise, take Ember because Ember mages are still better PvP-wise. Never ever take Purifier, it's a bad meme. Warrior. So for Warrior, Raging and Rally both got buffed. Rally will see some niche use in smaller battles, and Raging Warrior is really bad, don't use it. And you can't go wrong with Vengeful because Warriors are going to die, so it might as well explode while it does. Go Vengeful. Barbarian. The only choice is Wild Barbarian. Don't let anyone tell you differently. I don't care how buffed the other two specs get. Wild Barbarian essentially makes them worthless. The extra range on Wild Barbarian puts it in a class of its own. As far as Berserker goes, Champion Berserker got a mild buff. But your Berserker's job is not to fight melee. It's to kill tanks. So always go Rampaging. You can use Warpath if you want to use him to farm potions for you. Honestly, Berserker isn't really an important spec because you could practically go specless and no one would notice. Lastly is Warbeast. Essentially, Terrifying Warbeast wins out every time. Like, Shredding Warbeast is the one that does additional damage to armored units, and that does make it better at its job, but Warbeast's niche is that it reduces enemy attack power, and Terrifying bumps it up from 40 to 70, which is kind of ridiculous if you get your Warbeast to the front lines and it doesn't get an arrow to the eyeball. Terrifying Warbeast adds a ton of survivability to a big part of the army. Tank, boys. Always go heavy tank. You don't want your tank to die. Martyr tank is useless. Breacher tank got buffed, but it's still a joke. 60% of damage to other armored units? Golly, 60% more damage. I do a whole 7 more damage to other enemy tank. Man, yeah, that's good enough for me to fucking go. Yeah, that Breacher number 1. Go heavy. Paladin, let me see here. Same as tank, go heavy. The healing bonus might sound tempting, but trust me, it's not. Dueling Paladin is a bad meme. Champion Paladin isn't all that good. Heavy Paladin is the only way to go. So Vampire. Bloodlust Vampire is the way to go here. Grand Vampire did get a pretty massive buff, but in order to get much use out of it, you're going to need several other people placing Bloodlust Vampires. For the sake of a good meme, pick Bloodlust Vampire for all of your vampires except for one Grand Vampire in case you ever have to meme. Vengeful is a terrible meme. Like, do not consider Vengeful Vampire. It is a terrible meme. Centurion. Oh my god. Alright, Heavy Centurion always. They could buff Brutal Centurion to give 200% bonus damage and it would still suck. Go Heavy. Go Heavy. Orc Slayer. I can't show it because I'm not able to change my spec on Orc Slayer, but trust me, go Rampaging every time. Veteran is just way too niche, and Captain is also too niche. Rampaging is the one that increases its range, so instead of an Orc Slayer, it's a wild Orc Slayer, just like Barbarian. Always go Rampaging. I picked Veteran because I listened to my chat. F you guys. Rogue. Charming is the new king of the jungle. Like, only pick Swiftfoot if you only use your Rogue as a glorified chest sniping machine. I want Assassin to be good so badly, but the AI just doesn't let it happen. Just go Charming Rogue. Alright, Buster. Volatile forever. Rushing did get buffed to the point of usefulness, but like the additional radius buff is just too good to pass up from Buster. Like, Volatile Busters are just too strong. Focused Buster might sound good on paper, but it's actually trash. Do never pick Focused Buster. You can make a case for Rushing Buster. You can never make a case for Focused Buster in practice. Focused Flying Rogue is still really good, even if it didn't get buffed. But now, Swift Flying Rogue can compete slightly with Rogues for chest sniping. Like, that additional speed makes it viable for chest sniping. Armored is partially viable in smaller fights where it's less likely to get hit by anything other than range. In short, pick Focused. Just go Focused Flying Rogue. And maybe grab a Swift Flying Rogue to steal chests from everyone else. Alright, Balloon Buster. Oh, I can show off the specs here. Alright. There has been no changes to the Balloon Buster specs, but Ironclad is my personal recommendation so that the Balloon Buster can actually get to where it's supposed to explode on. Slaying Balloon Buster and Volatile Balloon Buster are decent picks, but I like the added insurance that Iron Chad gives me. Flag Bearer! Oh my god, they buffed Cursed Flag Bearer! Oh my god. Alright, now the thing is, a small note to make is that Threatening Flag Bearer does stack with Terrifying Warbeast. So you may want to keep at least one Threatening Flag to combo with a Terrifying Warbeast and just laugh as the enemies hit you for one. Otherwise, Cursed Flag Bearer is your pick. Invigorating Healer is the best right now, seeing as giving more defense is a vital boon to the army to get to the defense cap. Grand is fine for potion farming, but there are other units to use for potion farming, so I just recommend going for Invigorating. Hex Healer is a bad meme. The defense cap does limit Invigorating, but imagine a world where you're not at defense cap, but Invigorating would have gotten you there. Invigorating is pretty good. It's still the best. You can make a case for Grand Healer, but I personally think that keeping yourself at defense cap is way more important than an additional range. Okay, there has been no changes with Saint. You will always want Focused Saint, as you will never want your Saint to die for Martyr, and Glorious Saint is for potion farming, and Saint is way too heavy to be used as a potion farmer. Imagine using a Buster for potion farming. You just don't do it. Alright, Monk. Okay, this one might be a little controversial, but Martyr Monk is bad. Mighty Monk is for PvP, and Grand Monk is for PvE. Based on what content and stream raiders you want, pick accordingly. Mighty is still useful in PvE, but not as useful as Grand, especially in dungeons. If it was deals extra damage to all units, it would be a no-brainer, but because it is strictly to armored units, I can't have Grand be sidelined that hard. Mighty is a nice and safe pick. Grand if you want to specialize in dungeons. Okay, so the only changes in the Templar, you won't believe it. The only change is that Duelist Templar got an extra 5% damage to armored units. Instead of 50% extra damage to armored units, it's 55% extra damage to armored units. What a clown. Pick Grand Templar. Knight is way too niche. Okay, Necro. Here we go. Okay, so they did tell us what Necro's specs are gonna be. Neither you or I have enough scrolls to show or pick the spec, but we both know that long range Necro wins out due to how strong additional range is to the game. Like, it won't matter until next year, but Longshot Necro is gonna be the best. Like, right now, Necro's main problem is that it just gets too close to fucking... It gets too close to shit, and then it dies. It's kind of sad, but, yeah, once Longshot Necro gets into the game, it'll be good. The other two specs are kind of garbage. And that concludes the specialization guide. Friends, I hope you learned a good amount today. Please like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check me out on Twitch and comment below on what the next video you guys want me to make is going to be. Friends, thank you so much for watching and have a nice one.